Hello there guys, and welcome back to Blues Fans TV for my FA Cup semi-final preview between Manchester United and Chelsea, taking place tomorrow on Sunday in the evening at 6 p.m. UK time. Of course, taking place at Wembley, and it's a big one. It's a really big one. Before getting into it though, let me please remind you to subscribe to Blues Fans TV if you haven't already. That'd be massively appreciated. And also make sure you drop a like on this video because it helps us push these videos out to more people, and it also just makes me happy. So if you want to cheer me up a little bit, and if you're excited for the game tomorrow, please make sure you drop a like on this video. That'd be brilliant. But now enough waffling basically. Let's just get into the game. And the biggest question for this game is arguably the value Frank Lampard gives the FA Cup in comparison to finishing the Premier League within the top four. And with that question, do and should we rest some players against Manchester United, or should we go all out in all three, possibly four remaining games this season? That's, in my opinion, almost the biggest question. For me, I say don't risk injuries, but risking fatigue is acceptable because we should and need to go as much all out as we can, especially because I really don't want to lose to them lot for a fourth time this season. I really don't want to lose to them for a fourth time this season. And on those team/injury news that I kind of want to avoid, Frank Lampard in his press conference said that the squad is okay, but KANTE still will not be fit for the game against Manchester United. Other than that, he also said that we have a few niggles. They will still be monitored. Didn't specify as to who is suffering from those niggles, but let's just hope everyone else is going to be fine. Bar Billy-Gilmore, of course, because that would then even be bigger of a problem, as if KANTE missing another game isn't enough of an issue as it is. But coming to the team that I personally would go for, which with KANTE still being injured, took me ages to actually decide on. But in the end, I actually went for a 4-2-3-1 formation, which you guys know I'm not usually the biggest fan of, but I think drastic circumstances require drastic measures. And for me, going for a 4-2-3-1 formation is kind of a drastic measure. In goal, I would still keep Kepa. I know Caballero played the quarterfinal against Leicester, but I would go with Kepa. I think it's a better thing to go with. It's a big game. We need as much stability as we can get, in my opinion, to be somewhat defensively acceptable. So I would stick with Kepa. My two centre-backs will be Andreas Christensen and Kurt Zouma. My two centre-backs, Christensen and Kurt Zouma. And for me, Christensen over Antonio Rudiger, because United, other than from set pieces, aren't about physicality and height, but about movement and runs. And Christensen's positioning is much better than Rudiger's, in my opinion. Yes, you could argue Rudiger is quicker and can make up for a mistake and, you know, a darting run by, for example, Rashford or Martial a little bit easier. But the positioning is so important that I would, for that reason, go for Christensen over Rudiger. As for the fullbacks, and actually I put out a poll on my Twitter. Follow me, by the way. It's at last1507. Link is also down in the description. And I just put that poll out to find out who you guys would prefer to start alongside Azpilicueta as you know, the other fullback, basically. Because Azpilicueta, of course, is a given. So who should be the other fullback, I guess, if assuming we're going to go for a back four formation. And this is what you said. I don't actually know the results yet because I only, you know, when recording, I only put this poll out not even an hour ago, I think. So, you know, you can see the result on screen. I will only see when I'm editing this. But you lot know that I don't really rate Marcos Alonso that highly. He was decent against Norwich, but then again, it was only Norwich. Reece James, though, has kind of struggled pretty much in every game he's played in since the break. So I really don't know. I really just don't know. To be fair, though, Alonso is also good for a big goal in a big game, which chances are we could probably do within this game. So I'd go for Azpilicueta at right back and Alonso at left back. I don't really know if I'll be happy with that decision in an hour's time, but that's what I'll go with right now because I don't know. It's a gut feeling and I feel like it just makes a little bit more sense right now. Like I said, a 4-2-3-1 formation, so coming to the double pivot. And even though Jorginho and Kovacic both started against Norwich already, then it was a 4-3-3 formation. And I think Jorginho needs proper protection against Manchester United and, for example, Bruno Fernandes. So I want Kovacic right next to him. Not slightly higher like it was against Norwich. I want him right next to him. Off the ball, at least. On the ball, that's, of course, a different story. But off the ball, I want him right next to Jorginho. Because realistically, we don't have many other options, do we? Other than being risky and either sticking with Jorginho at the base, like on his own, or trying Kovacic there. What other options do we have? Yeah, you could argue Reece James, but that's equally as risky, even not more riskier because, I mean, yeah, he's played there, but in the Championship for Wigan. That's very different to Man United. So I don't really see many other options other than, you know, than what I've basically gone with, you know, in the double pivot. I don't really see it, to be honest. Ahead of them, in the number 10 position, I would personally go for Mason Mount. Even though he is better in a number 8 role, it has to be him over Barkley or Ruben Loftus-Cheek at the moment. I just think it is as simple as that. His pressing is just too vital, and his work rate especially. But then the front three, in my opinion, should stay the same. Compared to the Norwich game, Pulisic on the left, Willian on the right, and Olivier Giroud up front. Although you could make a case for Tammy Abraham, as we will probably not just run up against a low block as we do in most other games, and then Tammy's pace advantage over Giroud could be quite helpful. But his form, in my opinion, just doesn't allow it, so you have to go with Olivier Giroud. He also just deserves it. It's as simple as that. If he is fit and, not too fatigued to play again and play the upcoming 2 games against Liverpool and Wolves as well, he should be playing. But yeah, that is my team that I personally would field. But coming to the team, I think Frank Lampard will pick. I think either he will go for something very similar to what I went with actually, or, and I'm not sure I'm the biggest fan of it, but I actually see a good chance of him going for back 3 formation. Because he doesn't have Kante, and because he doesn't trust our midfield and defence combination without Kante. But he also, I don't think, will be too defensive, as you can see right now, because still starting Azpilicueta as one of the centre-backs and Reece James at wing-back. Of course, he could be even more defensive, starting 3 proper centre-backs and Aspi on the wing, or as the wing-back, basically. I don't think he will do that. I do believe that Caballero will be in goal for Frank Lampard, actually. More of a cup goalkeeper thing. I think Christensen and Zuma will be filling the back 3 alongside Azpilicueta, and obviously Marcos Alonso will be at left-back/left wing-back. Then coming to the midfield, which now will be a midfield 2, and even I, as much as I like Jorginho, wouldn't start him in a 3-4-3. So I personally go for Mateo Kovacic and probably Ross Barkley next to him, because we need some height and physicality in midfield when they have Pogba and Matic or McTominay in there. I don't know, I don't see Ruben Loftus-Cheek being ready, so Kovacic and Barkley, it might sound crazy, but you just need to do it, in my opinion. If you're going to go with that formation, and I think Lampard might, I think that's what you have to do in midfield. Some of you might think I'm crazy, but I think you kind of have to. And then with the front 3, I think I'll stick with the same, as I would go with really. Pulisic, Willian and Olivier Giroud. There is a small chance of Mason Mount starting on the wing if we do go for 3-4-3, but surely he wouldn't drop Pulisic or Willian at the moment, would he, for Mason Mount? And you could argue Mount instead of Barkley in the midfield too, but like I said, the height and physicality factor against Pogba, McTominay or Matic just plays a role, hence why I would rather go for Barkley in there rather than Mason Mount. Personally, I think my line-up and formation would do better than a 3-4-3, simply because our 3-4-3 so far this season does well when playing against another 3-4-3. But usually we struggle quite badly against other midfield 3s, basically, so other teams that play a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1, especially if they're good teams. Because whoever our midfield 2 is, even when it has been N'Golo Kante, we just struggled against that. So if Man United, I don't know, even though they pretty much always play a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3 variation of it, whatever you want to call it, unless they also turn up in a 3-4-3, I think it will kind of backfire on us. But I hope I'm either wrong that it would backfire, or I'm either wrong, or the other option is that I'm wrong about Lampard going for a 3-4-3. I hope I'm wrong about at least one of them, basically. But yeah, talking to the game overall, I guess before the press conference, I thought Kante might be fit, and then I was pretty confident for don't know what reason, but some reason. But he's not fit, and now, to be honest, I won't be lying to you. I'm a bit worried. I am a bit worried. In the grand scheme of things, of course, top 4 is more important than the FA Cup. So if we lose, it's annoying, but as long as we still make top 4, I can accept that. The problem is, especially without Kante, I believe every single player needs to not only give 100%, but 120% for us to win this game. Because United are in really good form. We're okay, but defensively we're really not good. They are kind of almost scoring as much as they want at times. And without Kante, the one guy that gives us stability in kind of midfield defence, kind of that transition, isn't fit and available, it's a struggle. But for me, the most important things for this game, the main keys will be defensive stability, obviously, concentration, because we make too many individual errors that just do seem to happen due to a lack of concentration. Or lapse in concentration, rather. Discipline will be hugely important. Work rate, including the movement when we're in possession, but the player's not on the ball, because we just need to create passing opportunities more so than we do a lot of the time. Like I said, I think those will be the main keys. As well as, of course, being clinical when we do have chances, because we will create a few, I'm pretty confident of that. But we do need to be clinical, because I don't think we will have a buttload of them. At the end of the day, it will definitely be a tough game against a good team. And touching on a good team, touching on Man United, in the league, of course, even though this is an FA Cup game, they currently sit in 5th on 62 points, level with Leicester, but behind them on goal difference. And then, of course, 1 point behind ourselves, Chelsea, who are, we are still in 3rd, which, of course, is good. Still ahead of them, but it's only 1 point at the moment. And Man United have had a really strange campaign, ups and downs, so many, especially at the start of the season. But since January, they've been good. Getting lucky with VAR plenty of times, like on Thursday against Palace, or even against ourselves when we last played them, I think, when Maguire clearly should have been sent off. Everyone knew it, other than the referees. But still, United have been good. VAR, luck or not losing a single game in any competition since January 22nd is impressive. Okay, we had 3 months off in that time, but still, it's impressive. And especially since that just mentioned break, they won all but 2 games. A 1-1 draw with Spurs in the first game back, and then that, for us, vital 2-2 draw against Southampton last Monday, which could be one of the biggest factors why we do end up making top 4. Although it could just depend on Leicester more, I guess. But still, that was a big result for us, I guess. But like I said, they've just been good. Scoring a lot, not conceding all that much. And let's be honest, while their fans do overrate him, Bruno Fernandes has been brilliant for them and has almost transformed their attacking play. And Paul Pogba being back after the break also had a big impact as well, who of course missed large chunks or almost the majority of the season up until that point, along with Rashford, Martial and Greenwood just being on great form. They're just a good team at the moment. And even though I've just stated facts and been realistic so far, that's enough praise for them now. That's enough praise for them now because they're still not perfect. I mean, Norwich took them to extra time in the FA Cup quarter-final. And, yeah, of course, they deserve to win regardless, but still, they took them to extra time and they were a bit fortunate with the goal they did score in the end. Palace were denied a clear penalty against them on Thursday, just moments before United made it 1-0. Is that guaranteed that Palace going to win that game or get at least a draw? And for United to drop points? No, of course it isn't. But it's still these VAR decisions that just shouldn't be going United's way, that just keep going United's way. How many penalties have they had this season? Like 20 or something? It's ridiculous. Honestly, it's ridiculous. But that doesn't take away from the fact that especially since the break or since the turn of the year, they've been good. They're good, but they've also not been incredible. No more than good. So it will be tough, especially if they do field the best 11, which, like for us, it will be interesting to see whether Solskjaer will prioritise the league over the FA Cup or whether he will give it equal importance, I guess. But we can still beat them. We can still beat them regardless, even without N'Golo Kante. But I would be lying if I said that I was confident. I would absolutely be lying to you. Hence why my score prediction is going to be a narrow 2-1 win in extra time. Because we did, just to mention that, have 48 more hours rest than Manchester United. Because our last game against Norwich was, of course, on Tuesday. While Manchester United play Crystal Palace on Thursday. So we have that 48 hours more. And maybe, just maybe, that will be an advantage if it does go to extra time. Hence why my score prediction is a win in extra time. So that has really been it for me, It's going to be a tough game, like I said, but I'm very much so looking forward to it at the end of the day. I'm also a bit nervous, but I'm very much so looking forward to it. Like I said at the beginning, make sure you subscribe to Blues Fans TV if you haven't already. That'd be massively appreciated. And if you are subscribed already, tell your mates to subscribe, Just more and more subscribers, that'd be bloody brilliant. And of course, please be sure to drop a like, because all the likes are great. If you're a United fan, a Chelsea fan, make sure you drop a like. I would massively appreciate it, and it helps this video be pushed out to more people, and obviously that'd be great. And if you have any thoughts ahead of the game, leave all of them down in the comment section below. But guys, that has really been it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, very excited for the game tomorrow, and I'll see you when I see you.